I recently played the best Star Wars game on the planet, and frankly, I can't believe it took me this long to find it. Its theme, its mechanics, its entertainment value blasts all the rest out of orbit. Now, don't get me wrong though, there's still lots of other great games out there, so this top 10 list reflects a wide range of games that will highlight what's to love about each one, and also offer ideas about who you should play each one with. But ultimately, if you can only buy one Star Wars game, this video will show you the path to the one true Star Wars board game. Thanks for checking out Legendary Tactics. So on this list, you're going to find some games that are really light and accessible and others that are really heavy strategy games. And my goal is to balance the quality of the game, the level of enjoyment, and the use of the Star Wars themes and narrative. So for number 10, this one was difficult because it came down to 3 games that really didn't make my top 9. I lopped off Star Wars Stratego because, while I like what Star Wars theme adds to the game, it was still just Stratego at heart. I've got a bad feeling about this. It just doesn't have the depth I want. And I also passed by Star Wars Legion from 2018 because there's actually 3 other better miniature games already on this list. So I finally settled on Star Wars Armada from 2015. It's an epic space battle miniatures game with a prolonged scope. If you like the feeling of becoming a fleet commander, this one will probably suit your tastes. It includes quality components, and it's great for tactical wargamers. If you really enjoyed custom ship specifications, attention to detail, this might also be a great choice. However, it's number 10 on my list because it's expensive, it almost demands that you buy expansions to get the full experience, and its scale is just a little broader than I like. I'll likely lose a lot of street cred for including this one as my number 9 pick, but let me defend this choice before you write me off. I'm almost embarrassed to share it with you. Okay, here goes. It's the Han Solo card game, or Sabacc as it's known in the films. Now, it's deceptively fun, and it's supremely accessible. It's also cheap. So my reason for loving this game skews heavily towards its thematic relevance. When I watched the films, I wanted to play the game that won Han Solo the Millenium Falcon. I confess that I expected this game would be a completely trashy, unplayable mess, but I had a surprising lot of fun with my kids when I played it. The goal is to score as close to 0 points as possible. It's not particularly complex, and there's some random chance involved in the game with die rolling, but every time I play it, I feel like a swaggering space pirate. While my 8th pick is admittedly not a full Star Wars experience, it does have a few features for which I included on this list. The game is Star Wars Empire vs. Rebellion. This one's from 2014. Firstly, it's a very compact and portable game that's surprisingly interesting. It's a streamlined game for 2 players with lots of hand management. Like many good card games, you need to figure out the best way to use each of your cards as you vie to win event cards. The game is like fancy blackjack, where you need to hit a target score without going over. Now, admittedly, I haven't played all the Star Wars games that exist. There are a lot of them. So if I miss any games or I've placed these differently than you would, please let me know which ones you would add or arrange differently down in the comments. I always appreciate your thoughts. In 2012, my number 7 game was released. It's Star Wars the Card Game. It's an LCG deck builder for 2 players. This game pales in comparison with Android Netrunner, which is a beautiful asymmetrical LCG, but it does have some merits. Like many of the games on this list, it's a fantasy flight game, so the artwork is first rate, the game mechanics are finely tuned, and it's a classic light side versus dark side game with the main goal being to sway the balance of the Force to your side. Number 6. Now, I'm willing to bet that many of you have never heard of, let alone played, my number 6 choice. This one is Assault on Hoth, The Empire Strikes Back, and it was not only fun when I played it back in 1988 as a little kid, but it also holds up really well today. It's a hex encounter wargame in the style of Avalon Hill, and I'll link to a playthrough that we did of this game for a retro game night just up at the top there. It captures the feel of the rebels' attempt to forestall the Imperial forces from destroying the shield generator, and what I love most about this game is the tactical play. Overall, it looks a little bit dated, but its bones are quite good. Swap out a few cardboard counters for some minis, and this would freshen up nicely. Alright, we're into the top 5. So for this one, I'm going with Star Wars Outer Rim from 2019. Now, to make my top 5, the game really has to take me into the Star Wars universe and let me interact with the narrative that made me buy these games in the first place. Outer Rim definitely does this. It's a rich thematic experience with lots of story. I love the originality of the game board for this one, and it feels like a pick up and deliver game with a little bit of combat in the mix. I confess that I actually prefer the game Firefly to this one, but not being a Star Wars game, it couldn't be on this list. There's a lot going on in this game. It's a busy table with a Eurogame flavor. And what makes this game stand out on my list in particular is that it's the only one here that can be played solo, and it feels like you're building a new story every time you play. For number 4, I confess that many of my choices lean towards games that include some tactical concerns, and my number 4 is no exception. It's Star Wars X-Wing Miniatures. This is a variation on another game that I love, Wings of Glory. It was originally called Wings of War. It's a tactical ship-to-ship combat game, and the reason I prefer this one to Star Wars Armada is partially monetary, and partially because I like that it feels more like a dogfight with a lightning-quick pace. If you prefer a game with a much larger fleet size scale, Armada might be the better choice for you, but overall it's a really well-polished game that gets you feeling like you're a fighter pilot right down in the trenches of the Star Wars universe. If you're getting enjoyment from this video, please consider joining Legendary Tactics as a full member to access our behind-the-scenes content. And if you're not quite ready for that commitment, we'd love to have you join as a subscriber. Now on to our top 3. Many people argue that Star Wars Imperial Assault from 2014 is the best Star Wars board game, but I still believe there are 2 better games than this. There is a lot to like here. The miniatures are fun. Like many Star Wars themed games, the heroes have ability and movement advantages, but the Imperials have the numbers. There's a pile of scenarios to play through in the campaign mode, and it comes app-equipped if you like that, and it feels like a cross between an RPG and a board game. My main critique of this game is that it felt really slow. It takes a long time to move through a room and to accomplish your objectives. But there's a lot to get through, and if you don't mind microtransactions, you can really expand your game with a pile of add-ons. My number 2 pick is likely much higher on my list than it would be on most other people's lists. To clarify, Star Wars, the Black Series Risk game, has nothing to do with Risk, other than shamelessly branding it this way to push more sales. But if you can get past that, this is a sleek, elegant, accessible game. I've played it with my kids since they were 6 and 7 years old, and we still have a blast with it. It can be played with adults too. The mechanics are simple, but there's enough strategy to capture the interest of a grizzled strategy gamer like me. Simultaneously, there's a 1v1 battle between Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker, with a little bit of intervention from Palpatine. And on the other side of the board, the Rebel forces are trying to knock out the Imperial shield generator protecting the Death Star. Finally, in the middle of the board, there's an epic tactical battle between the fleets vying for control of the board. It's really well balanced, it's thematically rich, there's lots of choice in the game, and anyone can play it. So for me, I love the universality and the accessibility of this game. That's why it's all the way up at number 2 for me. And frankly, this game is probably the best game you can use to introduce them to my number 1 pick. And that game, hands down, without question, is Star Wars Rebellion. If I could only play one Star Wars game for the rest of time, this would be it. It came out in 2016, and the first time I set this game up playing as the Rebels, my jaw dropped at how few units I had on the map compared with the Empire. Thematically, I was already enthralled. I knew that there would be a catch-up mechanic to keep the game even, but man, did I feel outgunned, and I loved it. I love that the game is super streamlined. Setup is very quick because there aren't all kinds of tracks and extra mechanics and peripheral components. It's a board, some cards, and the miniatures. And yet, there's a really rich game built around the hidden Rebel base and an area control as well as action management system. The cards bring narrative flavor to the game and variability to the games, and they reward you for completing missions with characters who did them from the films. However, you can also break from the original narrative too and play it out completely differently. It's like a huge sandbox. Combat is a little bit dice dependent, but the system is really intelligent in how it applies the damage. Not all units damage all other units. For example, troopers fight against rebel soldiers better. Though there's enough complexity to limit who you can play this game with, it's still one that I can table with my 9 and 10-year-old kids. It's certainly dependent on being able to read. The game has a lot of the same tactical considerations of a traditional war game, paired with the epic theme that's captured so many people's imaginations. It's tense, it's hard fought, and simply the most fun I've had playing a new game for quite some time. Easily in my top 5 immediately. It's easy for a game like this to get lost in so many other Star Wars games, but if you haven't had the chance to play it yet, befriend somebody who has a copy, buy it, or hit the tabletop simulator and give it a try. It's really worth the effort. And as ever, get out there, get gaming, be legendary, and may the Force be with you.